Hey guys, this is On Productions, aka 4673, and I know, I cut my hair, well, the hairdresser did, I didn't, but either way, yeah, I kind of like it myself too, so yes, that's a thing. And this is Redacted Life. I don't know much about it, except that it's some sort of horror game, and this is not the game. Well, it's a horror game. I don't actually know, but this is not a criticism of the game. The only thing is that the thing you risk when getting royalty-free music for your game, and that's of course the music you should get, but you should dig a little deep, I think, into the royalty-free zone as a game maker myself, because then you don't hear tracks that you've heard before in other games. Like this track from my very crappy game I made a long time ago, Mira Yume, that I actually played on the channel. And now all I can think about is that. But yeah. Now we're gonna play the game. I'm actually very excited for this one, and I wanted it to be dark, but it never gets dark in the summer, and I need to go to bed at a reasonable time, so yeah. Let's just go! I know this track too. This is also from my Mirayume game. Sorry. I first realized that I was a character in a video game about 3 weeks ago. Oh. At first I noticed the little things, glitches, things blinking out of existence. Then I tried to remember things, how I met my girlfriend Rebecca, where I was born, or either of my parents' names. I couldn't remember. I could only remember as far back as a month ago. It was a hard 3 weeks. The worst part was that when I tried to explain all of this to Rebecca, it was like she wouldn't listen to me. Like she couldn't hear me. I guess the game's programming could only stretch so far. That's actually a really cool idea. And yet, eventually, I decided to just let things happen and see how things would unfold. I mean, after all, despite how existential crisis-inducing finding out your life's a game was, my life was a pretty good life. Might as well enjoy it, right? Then Rebecca decided we should move out. Finding an affordable home to rent, it was too large a place to own all by ourselves. We packed our stuff, things from our city apartment, and drove to the countryside. We're here. We stepped out of the car. There it is, Adrian. The house is over there, at the end of the road. I looked at the mansion in the distance. Come on, Shiska. I opened the back door of the car to let Shiska out. Shiska was our dog, by the way. However, as soon as she got out of the car, Shiska started growling. That's a bad sign. Rebecca turned to Shiska. What's the matter, girl? She's scared of the house. I think she's scared of the house. Why? I don't know. Because it looks like the mansion's architect was a fan of Edward Gorey? I really like how the setup is every cliche horror movie ever, but it acknowledges this fact. Because it's like, he knows he's in a video game, which is very weird. Let's see what this is gonna go. I feel like it's gonna go deep. I guess something upset her. Animals can sense things, you know? Maybe it was a squirrel or something. Never mind. Let's go inside. I looked around. I could see from here that there was a study room that led to a massive grand ballroom. It's the kind of grand ballroom that I can imagine also doubling a final boss arena. Very unusual furniture. I stared at a weird painting of what I intercepted as 2 horses. The frame looked like it had 4 sets of claws trying to rip the artwork open. Very unusual. I prefer to call it rustic charm. I love how old-timey this place looks. What, scared? No. Well, I don't think something's gonna jump out and shout a boogie woogie boo. but I still feel a huge amount of unease. Don't worry, I'll protect you from anything in this household. She's glitching. Rebecca started glitching out again. It happened from time to time. It was the first thing that made me realize I was in a game. It used to freak me out, but now the most novelty's worn off. Or the shock's worn off, whatever you want to call it. It seems like me acting out of character causes this. It's like Rebecca can't figure out how to react to me. Adrian? Earth to Adrian. I snapped out of it. Yeah, Rebecca? I said I'll protect you. Sure. Now I know what you may be thinking. If we were moving into this house, why were we acting like we'd never set foot in this house before? Apparently, this is a world where you pay an estate agent a lot of money and just hope for the best. Just cross your fingers and wish really hard. And they magically find a beautiful house that you can afford to lodge in. We're leaving this crazy house. A young couple come lumbering down the stairs. They're each carrying a suitcase. I have had it. I can stand a lot of things, but not this. And with that, the couple left. My. A person whose gender was unclear to me approached us. They were wrapped up in several layers of winter clothing, despite the fact that it wasn't winter. It seems like another family has left us, with another to replace them. It's like revolving door around here. Hello, my name's Turtle. How are you? Their voice was also ambiguous. It's not just in terms of gender. Their voice sounded young and ancient, childish and wise, all at the same time. I'm Rebecca. This is Adrian. Why were those people leaving? They're scared of the spirit who dwells in this household. It's a terrible story, one fraught with tragedy. Would you like to hear it? I told him that we wouldn't, and Turtle began. The sweaty-layered character told Rebecca and me pretty full and complete information about the mansion. They told us about how the structure was originally commissioned in the 1800s, and the original owners of the mansion, Mira and Clara, were a couple who recently married before moving into their new home. Mira first met Clara when she became his assistant in his magic art. This eventually led them to falling in love with each other. Mira the magician, as he was called, was an illusionist. He was also rumored to have dabbled in two dubious things, adultery and dark arts, though neither was proven publicly. He was apparently successful enough as a magician to afford the mansion, and continued performing with Clara for many years until... Because there was always an until with these stories. Until... For some reason my mind kept wandering, but I did my best to stay focused on Turtle's cliché story. That was really an awful picture frame. So what happened to the magician and his wife? They disappeared. I sighed. No one seemed to notice. Really? The magician disappeared? How ironic. Very cute. They completely vanished. So there's playing along, and there's no, I'm in a game options. I think I'm gonna do the whole I am in a game. Vanished. That sounds like great magic art. Must have gone down well with the audience. It wasn't a magic trick. They had vanished from their household without taking anything with them. She took me seriously. I could see my sarcasm was once again wasted in this world. No, they became missing for several days. Eventually Miro was found dead in the basement of this very mansion. His body was covered with long, deep slash marks like he'd been scratched to pieces by some sort of long-fingered animal. But his wife was never found. I think Clara knew her husband had been cheating on her. Maybe when she found out, she confronted him with it. Maybe Miro kept a book filled with black magic that had something to do with it. But to think something very dark happened on the night they disappeared. And I believe that Clara's ghost still haunts this place to this day. It would explain all the strange things in this place, eerie noises, furniture rearranging itself when you leave the room. Then Turtle suddenly stopped the history lecture. Do you believe in ghosts? I've never really thought of it seriously before, but no. I didn't believe in ghosts, sorry. It's fine, no need to apologize to me. And what about you, Pio? What does he think? I don't know. Both very good questions. Why are you telling this and how do you know this? I want to know why, actually. Why are you telling us this? Won't that make us more likely to be the next couple to move out? Was this person trying to convince us to leave? I just thought it was interesting and important for you to know this household's backstory. It fascinates me. It's actually the reason why I moved in here in the first place. But why are you staying here if you believe there's a ghost? I've made this an occupation of mine. In the past, I've proven to have a knack for solving ghosts' problems and helping them find peace. You're a ghost hunter. Not a hunter, my dear. I prefer to think of myself as a ghost whisperer. Are there really enough ghosts in the world for you to do that? Well, you'd be surprised. But I also provide other services to people, living people, like Wiccan charms and divinations. I'll give your girlfriend a tarot reading if you like, free of charge. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I've never had a tarot card reading before. Oh boy. That vase is like pretty cool, but I don't know. It's just weirdly placed. After clearing a space on one of the tables, Turtle got Rebecca to shuffle the tarot deck. I looked at a bouquet of fleshy cut flowers nearby. They were white lilies, because of course they would have been white lilies. The funeral flower, a symbol of death. Of course, the game designer couldn't resist that. So that's a reason for the flowers. Wow, the sarcasm of this guy is pretty great. Taking cards from her, Turtle took the top 5 cards off the deck, placing them face down in a formation on the table. Ahem. This tarot card reading will be an interpretation of your future. They, meaning Turtle, not Rebecca, and they, meaning Turtle, not Rebecca, and Turtle, slowly flipped over each card, revealing their illustrations. Oh. They're not going to say they sense danger or anything cliché like that, are they? What's wrong, Turtle? This looks bad. Tell me, I want to know. Well, it's all up into interpretation, but... Turtle pointed out the center card. This card represents the Fool. That's you. Try not to smirk at that bad phrasing. Nope, absolutely no room for interpretation there. Luckily, Rebecca didn't seem to notice. The card in the center represents the person this is going to happen to, and the Fool is usually the person who is both curious and lucky. Rebecca put her arm around mine and squeezed it. Well, I'm certainly lucky to have Adrian. Yeah, and I you. No matter what I say about Rebecca, I really do care about her. That's what makes this feeling in the back of my mind worse. The card below represents a person who will be involved. This represents determination and endurance. So, a determined person? Exactly. Someone who will keep going, even in the face of adversity. This is such a beautiful card. Thank you. It's a custom tarot deck I had made especially for me. In my opinion, any tarot reader worth their weight in salt should get a custom tarot deck. Now let's see. The card on the top represents another person involved. Specifically, a woman, since it's the Empress card. Wouldn't that be me? Am I the woman? Since it's a tarot reading of you, I'd actually interpret that woman as Clara. The magician's wife? I'm sure her ghost is here. As long as you're in this house, you and her will be connected. Oh no, not the tower. I am actually very fascinated by tarot cards. I have a deck myself, and I'm actually trying to earn money for a special deck that I want. I really love them. I'm a bit of a little suspicious person. I like believing in superstitions and stuff like that sometimes. And the tower is my most hated card. I think it's such a terrifying card. Either way, I have to end the episode here. I'll see you in the next one. I hope you're enjoying this. I am, so far. Goodbye!